I've got about over 1 million followers on Twitter. I've got maybe over 1 million followers on Instagram, and maybe 500,000 or more on Facebook. So now when the great Eldersky tweets something or posts something, frequently there is a reaction. It's wonderful to know that I live rent-free in some of these people's heads. Listen to what this guy over on MSNBC said about me.
There are some people who perhaps could take a stand on this and it would make a difference, but they're making it worse. And it's seeping into our campaigns, Willie.
The stand on this is referring to the guy that broke into the home of the Pelosi's and struck Paul Pelosi with a hammer. And after I made sure that he was going to make a complete recovery, which the doctor says he did, then I tweeted out something kind of snarky. And I said, a few months ago, Paul Pelosi gets pulled over for DUI, and now somebody breaks in his house and hits him with a blunt object. Poor Paul Pelosi, in 6 months, hammered twice. I know it's a little snarky, but I mean, honestly, the reaction?
Yeah, it is. And we want to talk about Kari Lake in just a second here, Mark, but just pause for a minute. In the Republican politics you worked in with George W. Bush and all the way up, boy, they must seem like a lifetime ago to you.
Pretty quaint. Yeah, I was just thinking this morning about John McKinnon and his big moment in a debate where he didn't feed the mob, he led the mob. Lead the mob, don't feed the mob. And that's what's so depressing right now, is that you see the potential future faces of the Republican Party, like Kari Lake, not condemning it, but doing just the opposite and being rewarded for it. Larry Elder out in California, who's running for governor, made some joke about this is the second time he's been hammered, referencing a DWI. And not only did he say that, he gets 30,000 likes on Twitter as a response. But that's the problem. We have.
Oh my God! Elder makes a joke about Paul Pelosi being hammered twice in 6 months. By the way, don't you like he called me a future face of the Republican Party? I know I did. Oh my goodness! And that's the problem. Someone like Larry Elder, who could make a difference if I had all that power. Biden wouldn't be president. But I appreciate your assumption that I do. Here's my reaction to what the gentleman just now said. Let's do a thought experiment, to use the expression that Obama used the other day when he was trashing Herschel Walker. Let's just suppose, somebody broke into, I don't know, let me just choose a place, Mar-a-Lago. Trump was home. Guy has a hammer. Hits Trump in the head with the hammer. Sends Trump to the hospital. Has to undergo surgery. Do you think maybe, just maybe, these Trump-deranged people could barely contain their glee? After all, they were considered to be retribution. How do I know that? Recall when President Trump contracted COVID, what they said, that he had understated the problem, he ignored the problem, he refused to wear a mask, he was skeptical about how grave the problem was, yada, blah, etc. They could barely contain their glee. Now, if some dude broke into Mar-a-Lago, mentally ill, deranged, turns out he's also in the country illegally, overstayed his visa, he's from Canada, and he struck Trump in the head with a hammer, not only would they be gleeful, not only would they say that President Trump deserved it, they probably would run the intruder for Congress. What's this? The great Eldersky has a pair of MyPillow, my slippers, and he brought them to the studio? He certainly did. It's all I could do to put them on my feet. The reason I don't is because they're so soft, luxurious, and soothing, I may very well fall asleep. And I can't fall asleep during my show. You might fall asleep. You see the number on the screen, call it, or go to MyPillow.com, use promo code Elder. Whoa, 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 whoa! A MyPillow. Look at this. Squeeze it. Please don't squeeze the MyPillow. Remember that commercial, the Charmin? Okay. This is a MyPillow, MyPillow. That's why it's called a MyPillow. And it comes in different shapes, different sizes. You can call the number on your screen, or you can go to your email and do mypillow.com, promo code Elder, and you'll notice something. Over 100 products. I kid you not, over 100 products. And this is a MyPillow Giza Dream Bedsheet. Notice I'm holding it up. I got a lot of complaints. Elder, you're holding it too low. I can't really see it. Booyah. Hey, you guys say jump. Elder says how high, and I don't come down till you tell me to. That's how responsive we are to you. MyPillow Giza Dream Sheet. Different sizes, because we have different size beds and different colors because some people like different colors. I am the black face of white supremacy. As a result, I've chosen white. So call the number on your screen or go to MyPillow.com, promo code ELDER. I will be right back. Now watch this. Because of this attack, this CBS anchor is actually suggesting that Republicans should pull their ads that make Nancy Pelosi the face of the Democratic Party. What?
I never saw anyone after Steve Scalise was shot by a Bernie Sanders supporter trying to equate Democrat rhetoric with those actions. Please don't do that.
Okay. Looking at your candidates, Republican candidates have spent more than $116 million on ads that mention Speaker Pelosi by name in this cycle.
Why not? Speaker Pelosi from the Bay Area, left. Didn't say very much about defund the police. Every cockamamie spending plan, she's okay with that. She's okay with the climate change alarmism. She hasn't said one word, to my knowledge, about the borders. She didn't criticize Joe Biden for the ridiculous pullout of Afghanistan. Of course, she is the face of that party. She, after all, is the speaker, second in line to the presidency. And you're not supposed to make her the face of the party? And they didn't do that with Donald Trump?
If this is about the issues, why should make it about the issues? Why not depersonalize it?
It is absolutely about the issues. It's about the fact that we have double-digit inflation.
You don't think...
Why not depersonalize it? Why not just say inflation is bad, crime is bad, gas prices are really high, the borders are overrun, without putting Nancy Pelosi's face up there? Why not just do that? Really? Why don't you just write all our ads for us, okay? How many ads were with Donald Trump in them? You never made Donald Trump the face of the party? Joe Biden didn't talk about MAGA Republicans, semi-fascists, you know who? He didn't make references to Trump, but we can't make a reference to Nancy Pelosi because, after all, somebody broke into her house and we got to take down all the ads.
Exploding cost of living. We've got a crime wave across this country that is the direct result. In this moment,
we are 8 days out. Don't you think this needs to change? Why not pull some of these ads? Why not just delete?
Are you nuts? Pull the ads that mention Nancy Pelosi because some deranged illegal alien broke into her home? Are you kidding me? Would you pull the ads from mentioning Donald Trump if the same thing had happened to Donald Trump? You know the answer to that.
Well, I'm sure people like to talk about anything but what the Democrats have done to this country, which quite frankly is exploding cost of living, a crime wave in our major cities that is the result of this defund the police nonsense and cashless bail. I mean, you look at New York City, where you put someone in jail at 9 p.m. for assaulting someone on the street, and they're back out on the street at 9 a.m. committing crimes again. You look at my state of Minnesota. Minneapolis has 6,000 assaults since the beginning of the year, Margaret. Those are the issues that are top of mind for every voter in this country.
But let's not talk about those, because if you mention Nancy Pelosi, that's really bad. Nancy Pelosi from the Bay Area. Did Nancy Pelosi say anything about Chesa Boudin, the San Francisco County DA who was recalled? Did she say anything at all about that? Has she said anything at all about cashless bail? Has she said anything at all about Proposition 47 that allows you to steal up to $950, not just a day, but per store? If you get caught, they write your ticket because you have committed a misdemeanor and you ain't going to jail because of cashless bail. Did she say anything about Proposition 57 that reduced a whole lot of categories of crime to non-violent offenses, including, I kid you not, assault on a police officer, serial arson, rape of an intoxicated victim, non-violent offense, felony domestic violence, non-violent offense? I kid you not. Has Nancy Pelosi said one word about that? And we're not supposed to make her the face of the party? Speaking of making somebody the face of the party, here is an Obama anti-recall Governor Gavin Newsom ad.
Hello, Californians. You've got a big choice to make by September 14th. Governor Newsom has spent the past year and a half protecting California communities. Now Republicans are trying to recall him from office and overturn common sense COVID safety measures for healthcare workers and school staff. Your vote could be the difference between protecting our kids and putting them at risk.
Now, did you notice a little something that was in that ad? Did you notice a little something? Watch this excerpt.
Now Republicans are trying to recall him from office and overturn common sense COVID.
Uh-oh. Is that President you-know-who standing next to Larry Elder? Is he making Donald Trump the face of the party? Was Donald Trump running in the recall election? Was Donald Trump on the ballot? But virtually every single ad attacking the recall effort showed moi standing next to a picture of Donald Trump with both our thumbs up. They played it so often I could probably count the number of ridges on my thumb. Was that a problem? Did the CBS anchor say, why personalize this? Why not just talk about the issues? Why involve Donald Trump? Of course he didn't. Now, attention CNN, New York Times, Washington Post, MSNBC, and the LA Times. The girlfriend of the man who broke into the Pelosi's house said, and I'm quoting her, "I don't think he became a Trump supporter." She said he was mentally ill, but he was against the government. If anything, he was opposed to the shadow government, against the people who really run the government and use politicians as puppets, like Trump was a puppet. David and I were against shadow government, close quote. And I got another thing. I'm not suggesting that Paul Pelosi knew this guy, that they were friends, they had some sort of friendship. I'm not suggesting that at all. What I am saying is a whole lot about this we don't know. And I want to know this. I thought the Pelosi's home was under 24/7 surveillance because she is Speaker of the House, again, second in line of the presidency. And suddenly they don't have footage, or if they do, they're not releasing it. Don't you think that's just a little sneaky or a little suspicious? And regarding this connection between Donald Trump's violent political rhetoric and MAGA Republicans' violent political rhetoric and what happened to Paul Pelosi, data is showing that there have been 22 times more attacks on pro-lifers than pro-choice groups since the Roe v. Wade overturn. Watch this.
Anti-abortion groups are accusing the Justice Department of a double standard when it comes to prosecuting attacks on pro-life organizations. Dozens of them have been targeted since the leak of the Supreme Court decision overturning Roe v. Wade, according to the Family Research Council.
Dozens of attacks. Did you know about that? Well, if you're watching Fox, you do. If you're watching CNN, MSNBC, you don't. Remember, be sure and hit like. Also, hit that subscribe button and click on the link below if you're watching on YouTube. That way, you're hooked up to our mailing list because we have been demonetized by YouTube. I don't know why. Maybe it was something that I said. However, if you are on our mailing list, we'll apprise you every time we do a new video so you won't miss a thing. And remember, first half of the show, free, gratis, doesn't cost you a dime. Second half of the show, you've got to be a subscriber. EpicTV.com. That's EpicTV.com. And also, since we were demonetized, as I mentioned earlier, you can throw a little something in the tip jar. Donate something. If you want to make sure you keep getting this Rock'em Sock'em show, throw a little something in the tip jar, and you'll feel better about yourself as you're watching the program.